Carry-on bags should be paid and checked should be free. I fly about 12-18 times a year, and my biggest issue with flying is people bring way too much stuff for carry-on only. I wish airlines were more strict about this. I think checked bags should be free and carry-on charged. I understand people will complain about lost luggage etc. These are the people who fly once a year during winter storms. And you should be better prepared to not look like a jerkhead complaining about having nothing and being stuck. For carry-ons. Everyone should carry one full change of clothes, toiletries, medicine, bare necessities for electronics and chargers, a book, snack and water bottle. All of this can fit in small backpacks. I'm sure I can be convinced that a few other things are acceptable, but that's it. Everything else goes under the plane. You don't need 2 weeks of underwear in your carry-on. Now let's say your luggage does get lost, you have your necessities taken care of, because you actually packed a carry-on properly, and you can go shopping some new stuff on the airlines or insurance paying the bill. To reiterate. Carry-on charged. Checked baggage free. Edit people who focusing on large amounts of life-saving medicines, chill out we shrent forcing you to check it. I get free checked bags as a frequent flyer and I check my bags 95% of the time, even when I don't need to. I'd like to find a study to see if data exists that shows a pattern either way. And the overhead bin should be tied to your seat. If you are in row Z, don't stuff your bag into the bins on row H. I remember the days of air travel when all bags were checked for free and the overhead bins were for briefcases and overcoats. I think more people would check baggage if they had a free check bag and insurance in case it's lost. I think most people, at least in my experience, are just trying to avoid fees. I personally bring a full suitcase and backpack for a carry-on, then gate check it for free. I'm not as worried about losing it because it's returned as soon as I land, it's free, and it's actually cheaper for the airline. What boils my piss is when you take a carry-on bag that's the right size and the cabin crew demand you have it at your feet, because Bessie took a fucking VW camper on the plane and it doesn't fit. Also stop standing up and rushing to the front as soon as the plane lands. Fuck. Until they started charging high fees for check-in luggage, very few people did carry on. Bag fees are bullshit. None of them should cost money. I don't put things in a carry-on because they charge for checked bags. I put things in a carry-on because I don't want to wind up in a different city as my computer and medication. I've never flown during a winter storm. I don't know what you're talking about. The airline makes carry-on dimensions and I stay within them, but what I do shouldn't change because of how many times a year you fly. And know who would disagree with you and also probably flies more than you. Pilots and airplane staff. Ever seen them walking in an airport? Yeah, they have the same bag and personal item that I do. People used to check their baggage and there was very little carry-on. It didn't take 45 minutes to get off the plane. People started carrying their luggage when the airline started charging to check in a bag. A bag traveling should be part of the plane ticket. Airlines are just greedy and found a way to screw their customers. The actual problem was charging for checked bags in the first place, then everyone switched to carry-on and there's not enough room. I've always been carry-on only and now it's very annoying that everyone else is too. I think the post is confusing. Are you saying anything of importance, i.e. medicines, electronics, paperwork, valuables etc. should fit into a free personal item bag like a backpack, but then rollerbag suitcases should be charged? Cause people are getting really hung up on medicines. I wish that airlines stick to the size allowed for carry-on. If they enforce this, then we would have enough carry-on cargo space. I travel frequently enough to see carry-on luggage that there is no way it would fit into the metal bar basket they use at airports to see if the carry-on is within the restricted dimensions. If all the airline staff were more hardcore about this, there would not be any need to threaten after the fact that those with oversized need to volunteer to check in their bags. You didn't say anything that justifies why carry-ons should be charged. Absolutely. Since they instituted extra charges for checked bags, I've thought it was bizarre to incentivize people to cram as much on the plane with them as possible and then beg people to volunteer to check their bags at the gate. Only upshot is it makes it super easy to get a free checked bag. Editing to add that I disagree that you should have to pay extra for a carry-on. This drives me insane. People coming on a flight with 2 huge duffel bags as carry-on when neither of them are small enough to fit in the carry-on size measurer. Then they stuff them in the overhead, which now they are using at least 2 spaces. Air Canada now offers to check the extra carry-ons for free. How ridiculous is that? They save the price of a checked bag because they stuff everything into 2 carry-ons. Then they get one for free by the airline. This is like rewarding them for breaking the rules. Preach on. It makes the most economic sense. Planes are a massive fixed cost. Gate fees are expensive and fixed. Time is money. Stuffing and unloading overhead bins takes a ton of time. Everywhere else, people pay for convenience. Carry-on is more convenient. That should be a premium. Business travelers are less price sensitive. They know how to travel. They will gladly expense through those fees and have the right-sized bags to quickly fit into bins. I'll agree this once every aircraft out there can actually hold my bag. I'm tired of it getting a valet tag because they can't be bothered to fly an appropriate-sized jet. Bullshit like that makes me have a second bag with all the stuff that's not allowed to be put in valet, like lithium batteries and such. You need some things with you while you fly, things that can't afford to be lost. Your carry-on is free because even greedy airlines know this. I can't imagine risking losing my meds or paperwork just because people like OP don't want to wait for other passengers to put their bags away. If checked bags were free, the carry-on problem would largely take care of itself. I've been flying regularly since the late 90s for business, and before the airline started all of the asinine baggage-related charges, there was probably only half as much carry-on baggage being used. If you can fit all your medicine into a backpack, that's great for you. Not everyone can. Maybe you have a large medical device. Maybe you're traveling for an extended period of time and need months' worth of multiple medications all within their original boxes and containers. Then you need your toiletries, change of clothes, other personal items in there as well. For airlines like Spirit, who charge for both carry-ons and checked is cheaper. They should both be free. LOL, tickets cost an arm and a leg already, and they just make seats smaller to cram more people in. Instead of less luggage, how about less people? Reasonable space for each passenger? If it's got wheels, it shouldn't be in carry-on. The easier way to solve the issue would simply be airlines enforcing carry-on dimension restrictions. No. I fly every week for work. I need my carry-on to have my laptop, books, and work materials. I can't stuff underwear and whatnot in there. I agree that airlines need to be more strict about how many items someone carts onto a plane, but your idea will never work. I usually don't check baggage because I tend to travel light. Your take is absurd. Generally, if it doesn't fit, they will usually make you check it in at the gate. I usually pack a certain amount of clothing depending on how long I will be gone and depending on if there's laundry facilities available. I'm not putting my laptop and all my clothing underneath the plane just for it to get lost. Thanks very much. How about no? And just for that, I'm bringing my baby on the flight and my military-grade soundproof plugs. I agree, this is an unpopular opinion. Hard agree. OP. Always interesting how people like to pick a single use case that is one of people and use it for the reason it shouldn't be that way. I travel for work and still always check my bag. It doesn't take any longer at the baggage claim. Especially since it takes 20 minutes to get off the plane, since everyone is shoving 3 weeks of clothes into the overhead bin. When I fly, I bring a book and a pair of headphones. Everything else gets checked. There is nothing else I need for the 3 hours on the plane that I don't normally carry with me day to day: wallet, phone, keys, glasses. Those things are in my pocket. It's so much easier. People who fly less frequently are more likely to have their luggage lost. It takes additional staff and resources to handle checked luggage. It is free for the airline to allow you to carry and stow your own luggage.